This is a story of Chopper, who was later renamed Harley. He came into our program in November of 2003, and he was my foster originally, as he was sick with a cold, and I hand-fed him for a number of weeks with calf slurry, and he just loved it, and he was terrific. He just acted like a normal foster who was getting used to being in Siamese rescue, and I could have kept doing it for weeks if he would, he wanted me to. And eventually he went to transfer to Karen Lukenbach, who was a good friend of mine and lived in the next town over. And after a few days, I got a call from Karen saying, I don't know, there's something going on here. This cat has a strange behavior. Can you come over? So I went over and went into the room with Harley and looked down at him, and this beautiful looking cat looks up at me with those big blue eyes, and wham, he's hanging off my nose with his teeth. You know, I was sure he gave me a place to put a nose ring at that point, but I was okay. Boy, did that hurt. So Karen and I decided we needed to call Sari to figure out what to do, because this cat was developing separation anxiety, and we didn't know how to handle it. So we call Sari, and we get, hello, this is Siamese Rescue, Sari speaking. And we said, Sari, we have a problem. Well, what's the problem? Well, Harley is being aggressive, and we don't know how to handle this. And she said, well, Kim had one of her cats who had the similar problem, and she had to take a cookie sheet and put it around her legs when she walked in the room, and you can't show them you're scared. And we're like, okay, how do you do that? Not easy. So we got off the phone with her and succeeded in working with Harley. Karen continued to work with him, and he continued to have a problem with him with biting. And lo and behold, we had adopters who were interested in adopting him, and we thought, okay, let them come over and meet him and see what they think. They'll probably run for the hills. Well, they didn't. They ended up falling in love with him and ended up adopting him, and he's still with them. It's 10 years later, and he still bites June, which is the wife, and still is a bit of a problem, but they love him nonetheless, and they have continued to adopt 2 other cats, I believe, or 2 or 3 since, and they are amazing people, just lovely. And now I'll tell you the second story about Harley. Harley got to Henry and June's house, and apparently they couldn't leave him in their bedroom because he would bite June. So they had to close him out. So at night he would be out in the rest of the house. And they had a big cockatoo. Oh, yeah, I think it was a cockatoo. In a big cage in the middle of their kitchen. And the cockatoo was very talkative and was used to the cats, but he was protected in the cage. So they're laying in bed the next morning, and they hear the bird say, Harley, no. No, Harley. And they're going, okay, maybe he's just picked up on Harley, being bad, and us saying, no, Harley. And this continued for quite a while until they got up to go down and see what was going on. And there was Harley on top of the cage, and the bird going, no, Harley, no, Harley, Harley, no. I guess Harley didn't understand no. So that was their story.